Hey guys, ladies, gentlemen, hope everybody is doing well. Firstly, if you can hear it, please excuse the rain on my patio. It's a bit of a miserable day today. It's 24th of September, it's currently 9 AM. So, in this video, I'm going to simply break down steps to take on the H4 time frame. Now, just like to drop in there before I do continue, one thing, tiled charts. Guys, if you haven't yet had the opportunity to go in and press number 2 here, 2.1, right there, tiled charts. If you're still working on this, you can go in and click that and we'll tile your chart. So what I mean by that is this button over here, boom, it tiles a chart. So what I like to do before I move on is I keep all of the analysis we've done so far on the left hand side, i.e. the weekly, the daily and the 4 hourly, which I'm about to draw on, so we can minimize it, maximize it, minimize it, maximize it. Over here on the right hand side, this is going to be for the next stages and the next steps, which is it's going to be a switch over between the hourly and the 15-minute. Now when you're doing your drawings, there's a tab here, I believe it's this one. Turn this off. Turn this off because I don't want all of the drawings being replicated over to the hourly and the 15-minute. Reason being is because we're going to be looking at this in a more precise detail as we go on to catch some intraday action. Sometimes I'm going to show you shortly when we do plot levels across all 4 of these charts in a moment. Sometimes we just quickly copy, Control C, Control V, and it copies over here. So I only really go in and copy the actual levels because what I'm doing on the daily and the 4 hour is I'm predicting and projecting areas in which the price can fall into, rise into. So then we can go into the precise time frame, the 15-minute and the hourly. Do some precise markings as we step into the further content and run trades into the larger levels. So here, GBP AUD at the moment, you can see we're consolidating overnight. I'm actually short on this, and we can see that. Again, I'll go into this full detail. Over here, we had this choppy price action which couldn't surpass 8376, and we were below this hourly region. So I don't want to congest the hourly and the 15-minute with all of the higher time frame drawings. Once you are finished, again, you can just simply boom, boom, expand, contract, and so forth, and you'll get the hang of this as you go along. Again, it's all about chart hygiene and keeping things clean. Now here we have our daily level on GA, and we have our daily level there on GA as well. Currently on the 4 hour time frame, I say it is at 18 minutes past 9, sorry, in the morning over here in London. We are breaching the low of this wick, and we're going to put some markings on in a moment. But over here we can see price is, the wicks are going to the back end. There are some wicks to the downside as well, but it's now breaking out of this consolidation. If we look, there's still 41 minutes on this candlestick, and we are looking as if we're actually breaking the momentum of the previous wicks there as well and head into the downside. Current 4 hour candle is a shooting star, okay, and I'll make all of this extremely clear to you in a moment. But over here on the hourly and the 15-minute, what I'm more or less looking for is there was various entries. So if I look at the 15, okay, I took my entry based on this candlestick here. I'm going with the overall flow and directional bias of the market because we are due to pull back. From some of the recent videos, if you can see here, we did get that daily closure, taking out the previous wick there as well. I'm kind of waffling on a little bit. Again, I'm missing the point of the tiling, but I do get a little bit drawn in, over passionate about the PA over here. But anyway, basically, overall flow, I'm looking at GBP AUD running into the daily level there. Again, we've kept it clean, we've kept it precise. That is my target, 8198, 8200 basically. So what I've done over here this morning, I've seen this spike to the upside. Again, I'm going to go through all of this motion as we get through later on in the videos. You're going to really understand this, especially by like video 15, lesson 15 and lesson 20, sorry. So we spiked to the upside, and then boom, on that candle closure, that's my entry. Stop is tightly above, 3 pips above. And again, all of these rules I will be displaying shortly. So I'm in nice profit at the moment. I'm nearly 50 pips up, but my overall target is the daily and the 4 hour. So again, moral of the story here is tile the chart, keeping all of the drawings here. Take that tool off because I don't want it duplicated onto the hourly and the 15-minute. And on the right hand chart, right hand window. It's the hourly and the 15-minute only, and we may be taking some drawings from the left, copying and pasting them onto the right hand side, because the things that I'm going to go through and the certain structures we're looking for on the hourly and the 15-minute, we want it to be as clear as possible. We want it really, really clear. We need that clarity to fucking smash in our entries. What's also happened here as well on the hourly, we had the strong hourly close, which is a shooting star and a bearish engulfing formation. And if I just put my crosshair to the lows there, which were made this morning, we've now snapped those lows. So that gives me a heads up as to hold the position, hold the trade. And if I now also, I can apply, simply put, boom, look. Little trend line there, we're below the trend line, below structure, and now the market is starting to roll over, and we're looking for extended targets into 8.2, which is 115 pips away. So I'm looking at around 160 pips on this trade, and there's various opportunities as well to scale in and add orders and add entries. As an example, my first entry is here, stops above, okay, price falls, so I'm using, okay, the 4 hour and the hourly, the daily and the 4 hourly in unison together on this tile. Over here, I'm using the hourly and the 15-minute in unison together. So I got my I got my first entry in on the 15-minute. Prices came in, it's broke hourly structure, and then the closure on the hourly has actually given me another opportunity to add a short position and scale in an extra entry. Again, this stuff is relatively advanced for those who are new, but I will be going through it and showing some of my live trades, this, that, as time goes by. So that's what I just want to suggest. Gold, the 4 hour there, I've got the tile, I've got the hourly over here as well. So all my 4 hour, my daily drawings and my weekly drawings are here. Soon to be the 4 hourly, which we're going to go through in a moment. But again, I've got my hourly over here. Same with GBP USD. If I want to go in and tile that, I've got my hourly in the 15-minute on the right hand side, and I have everything nice. Look how organized it is. And the way in which I'm going to show you how to complete now the 4 hour time frame is very, very easy once you know what you're looking for, and how we can dissect price action. I'm more or less only focused on this region, because again, we're taking targets 100 pips, 150 pips, and we're trading back and forth. And the more you can actually solidify this, this structure into your mind and really form a unison between the relationship of the time frames, and know, okay, cool, exactly what I'm looking for here, 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 which times throughout the day. So at the moment, last pointer, we are in the UK session, London session, so we are getting a little bit of movement on some of the pairs at the moment. I woke up this morning early, but I didn't actually get any price movement. There wasn't anything that suggested, other than GBP AUD short at 5 AM. So actually, the short trade I just executed on GBP AUD was only in the last hour or so. Hour and a half. So I looked at the market at 5 AM. There wasn't anything there, so I actually had an extra 2 hours sleep in bed, woke up, and then GA fell on my lap. So yeah, I mean, routine, I will be going in a little bit more about my personal routine, but it's quite straightforward. When you have all of your charts organized and you know the price action, you know your currency pairs, it just flows eventually. It's going to take some good hard work and dedication at the start. You know, I'm talking months and months and months. Some of you maybe years. It's not a laughing matter, but when you get there and you really understand what is going on and really understand when there's a trade and when there isn't a trade, then your life just flows effortlessly alongside trading, and you can combine trading and you can hold it and you can grasp that and you can get on with your daily life with ease. And again, it's all about minimizing stress and allowing the psychological barriers to flatten themselves over time, so you are strong, you are confident, and you know exactly what you are doing. So I just wanted to drop that pointer in there. So if you haven't yet tiled charts, go in tile charts and then just copy and paste. Literally, you can grab a line, you can go clone, and you can paste it back over to the other time frame. Take this off. We want drawings to be separate, not the same. All right, so 10 minutes into the video, let me just set my set a stopwatch. I don't want to overly do it. I want to break everything up into sections and chunks for everybody. So now we're going to start with GBP AUD. Right, steps. So guys, we've done the weekly, we've done the daily. 444, okay? 4 maximum. We understand that. Now what we need to do is zoom in into the current price action. What I'm looking for is, first and foremost, I'm looking at small regions and small zones, again using the same strategic measure, if you will, of using the bodies of the candles in order to draw levels. Now, with the weekly, we use the horizontal line. With the daily, we use the horizontal ray. Now what I'm going to use for the 4 hourly is the arrow tool. Then on the hourly, I'm going to use the trendline tool. With this, look at my arrow tool, it is blue. I can maybe even change that to maybe a darker shade, and also go in and put it as that number 1 right there. Just a different shade perhaps. So what I'm looking to do with this tool in particular is look at the price action around me. There's 2 steps that we do on the 4 hourly. Once I've gone through these steps on all four currencies, it's going to become a lot clearer to you how we can actually now really zoom in and refine what is going on the chart. It's quite straightforward. So what I'm looking for is areas of value. So click your arrow tool. Number 1, price is more or less sinking out of this mini box region. What I can see, if we always have to zoom in quite well. Right, just put that there for a second. With the crosshair, I can see this area, this zone 1, 2, 3. Okay, body, body. Across here on the 4 hour, I can see body, body. If I was to just simply go in and keep this straight, alright, and then smash that right there. What I'm looking at here is a small area, and then the width, if you will, it's always going to differ. So I could just maybe even keep this right there, small, simple, sweet. And I've settled it, and I've just placed it on top of the bodies here, 1 and 2. What's happened afterwards is that the consolidation has remained below that small key area. Okay, I could have placed it here, but looking over to the right, I can see where the market has actually reacted to this zone. But if I wanted to, if this didn't happen at first, if I did place my 4 hour level across that and bring it to the right hand side, it's still valid, maybe even more so. What's happened is the market, because now we're trying to get into the nitty gritty. If you look at the hourly over here, it's flailing around a little bit. It's not really doing too well. So I'm just watching this trade. Probably in for a retest and a reload. Alright, so what I've now done, I've just simply put the arrow tool across the marking. Now if you spotted this at an earlier date, what I've done here is I've obviously recognized the pins 1, 2 and 3, the small doji candle, indecisiveness, but then we have the rush of momentum. So this is a key area. This is a key area, key zone. So what I'm looking for is 2 bodies. Boom, I brought it across. We've had the test right back into that level from the highs here. So if you did find this at an earlier stage, and it comes with practice, the earlier you spot specific levels and you know exactly where to place the lines and the arrows on the 4 hourly. 4 hourly is really, really accurate in this case. We can see that if I was to go over to the, and just clean this chart up a second, if I was to go in, okay, copy this, paste it over here. That's what it looks like on 15. Let's look at the hourly though. That's what it looks like on the hourly time frame. So if you had this on previous, early as possible, and you were taking shorts from here because there's lots of opportunity up here, boom, look how we come into that as a target, and then we rebound off it because we've taken, and we know the level is a solid level. We gain confidence from that. And you'll see as time goes by, especially with your own practice using this method, with the bodies of the candles. And again, the black candles make everything so much more simplistic. We've ran into that zone and we stabbed it, and then we've reloaded straight back off it. What has then happened, if I just maximize this 4 hourly once more, is the market has tapped it once more. dipped below it, okay, back above it, back below it, and we're in consolidation now. Here we have the green candle, which it can be a hammer, if you will, again, and that would have been a trick candle if somebody thought that was a hammer off support because the market sunk afterwards. But look, we have to be very precise. Now, if I just move that right to the body, look what we're seeing. We are seeing tap, tap through, close below. Tap through, close below. So this level right now, and again I've translated it over to the hourly time frame because that's what we're going to be doing sometimes, is using specific levels and just copying and paste it over to the hourly to keep the hourly and the 15-minute clean. If you look at the last hourly price action, the market has ran into the level, boom, spike through it. Okay, over here we have spike, spike, then we have top spike. Boom, the market's now come down. This is screaming shorts. If I then go and translate that into the 15-minute, look at where my entry was. This is why I entered GA short. It's because of the rally I seen through. We have 1, 2, 3 rejections. So look how accurate that is. 1, 2, and then 3. Bang. Drop down, stab back into the lows. And now I'm in the trade in profit. Hourly, just give us that bearish engulfing closure and that shooting star right there. But what I'm more or less doing, guys, is I'm looking at the flow on the 4-hourly and I'm going in to predict and get the precise areas and zones where I can then even further refine my intraday trades on the hourly and 15. Another example would be, okay, so up here we have areas which we can maybe consider. Let's have a look how that would go. So what you can simply do is copy and paste one of the lines that you've done, sit it on. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy and paste that over to the hourly over here. What I see is, number one, it's valid. It can be relatively near to the daily and the weekly, don't get me wrong. But over here, as you can see, we have the break above. So we spiked above. Where this candle lies, the third candle spike, 1, 2, 3, is this price action here. So what's happened is the market's gone above, come back below. Structure has now changed from medium-term bullish, well, intraday bullish, to now intraday bearish, and the market is now below that zone. The market then comes below the daily right there, and as we're sinking, this is just sell zone. This is sell area, sell zone, sell area. So that's a pretty decent level there too. Another one that I would go in and I would choose lower boundary would be right here, and then all you have to do, guys, if it is obviously further back in price, just stretch the mark over, copy that, paste that over to the hourly, and then that will be a level that I will be aware of for my short trade to now roll into, okay, for the short trade to roll into, and then maybe take partial profits because I am looking at lower, but this would be like danger zone because we have the daily right here too, which is the bottom of this price action where we can see hourly spikes, at 8200 psychological level. So this would be an area in which I would wait for price to fall into and then simply just take profits. Then I can wait for, okay, cool, GA, will it now reverse at this zone and show me some upside momentum? Can I take a trade based off that? Then the trade would be watching how the 4-hour forms around these zones here. Does the 4-hour give me a shift in momentum, a reversal? Then coming into the hourly and the 15-minute to really pinpoint that entry and get that accurate fucking trade overall. So what we can see at the moment is what I would do. This spike here is quite relevant. The spike here is very relevant, and the market is actually reacting from that right now. There's two things you can do. You can go ahead and put an arrow on there as well. At the bottom of the spikes and top of some spikes, I wouldn't say it's a rarity, but it will be something that we have to do maybe 10-15% at the time. So we start with the bodies first, pick out like 3 or 4. If we're looking at trades, we can copy and paste it over to the right hand side in order to find pinpoint accuracy entries. Again, all of that stuff is still yet to come in further videos, and I still have a lot to record on live market exercises to cut up and put into the members zone. But keeping it short and sweet, I personally, I would have that in my mind and I would use the crosshair. I don't want to get the chart too congested, but that's just because of my experience. So I can look at that by eye. Current 4-hour candlestick, how long's left? 24 minutes. And then the prior one, as you can see there, we've had 2 spikes into that region. We really need to clear that region. It's just a more or less, I would say, a minor area of support for the pair at the minute, but it is reacting to it. So over here, if I put my crosshair, if you look at the right-hand screen where the crosshair sits, at the bottom of that spike, look at the price now. This is where it's reacting to and from. So we've gone from... well, at the moment, market is making lower swings across the board here on the hourly. But ultimately, if I put my crosshair right there, you can see how price is right on that. Once that is snapped, GA will fucking melt right into 1.8240, then 1.8200. And that for me is over 120 pips for the day. Hopefully it comes through today. So these opportunities are going to be everywhere. And when you start to clean your mind and put this on your chart and follow what I have to say over the next X amount of lessons, money is going to flow effortlessly. So that's that. Let me just check my phone. All right, so I'm in profit. My entry 1.8358, which was just up here on the 15-minute, and obviously current price is 2.3. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Forex calendar, by the way. Let's have a look what's good on here. Tuesday, we have some pound and 9.30. I believe that already came out 5 minutes ago. Let's just refresh this page. Nothing special. Boom, boom, boom. Pound, again, nothing special there. And then some bullshit in the afternoon. I glance at this. I'm not like completely into fundamentals. Because I know like price behavior and manipulation rules the world and markets, and you'll see this as time goes on my charts. Anyway, so that's phase 1, that's step 1 of 4-hourly markings. Very simple, very straightforward, but it's a precise way of looking at, because what we're now doing, look at this, if I zoom in, candle by candle, we're not distracted by the colors anymore. So we're bringing the area across and we can actually see where the market's actually closing. Above, below, and spiking into. So this is why the spikes and turning those wicks, the different color is vital, man. Like, gosh. But yeah, we're ready, we're rocking, we're rolling. And always zoom in and just see if you can adjust it. I'm OCD when it comes to charting. Look at that, beautiful level. We know our 4 hours, we know our dailies. Again, you can even go mark the label these if you want. I don't know why the hell that isn't working for me. I'll find that out later and know, okay, cool. I've got 4-hour, daily, weekly here. Price is going to run into it. If you're up 100 pips on a trade and it runs into a support level and you don't take any money, you're an idiot. Simple. Money is going to, trust me, if you consistently, okay, practice this, know this, reprogram your mind with all of this information, you'll be finding entries every single fucking day. It's going to be up to you if you handle that money correctly, and if you're to build your psychology, and if you actually take profits off the table. So guys, GA done. That's step 1. I've got another zone stage that we're going to do afterwards, but I'm going to run through the 4 currencies, run a new video on the zones. Then we're going to get into some other good stuff before we get into the intraday PA. Alright, so GA, cool. That one's running. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. But can you see the clarity that we're obtaining over here on the hourly as well? So we're only using specific zones, and again, tiling the chart to monitor. So I would look at the 4-hourly. I know exactly when the 4-hourly closes. 10 p.m., 2 a.m., 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., 10 p.m. I'm programmed to look at the 4-hourly, especially if I'm in a trade, because I want to see, okay, is momentum continuing to push to the downside on this, or is there any spot of reversal? If in 20 minutes this candle closes anywhere where it is now, it tells me, cool, the momentum's still there. We do have a little bit of an issue on this spike over here, but whatever. I'm going to hold this trade. So again, I'm monitoring time frames. If this trade, doesn't really hit target in today's space, in any of today's sessions, then I look at the daily. How's the daily looking? Does it still look bearish? Let me hold this trade into tomorrow. So they're just simple steps that you have to take in order to be the best you can be when merging all of these time frames together. Cool. All right, so that's that. I don't really need to go into the 15-minute with this because it can get a little bit jittery. And even I get a little bit, it can wrap my nerves a little bit. So I like to just monitor on the hourly. But the hourly is giving me a nice strong close there. I know exactly where the regions are. I know exactly why price behavior is behaving at specific levels, so on and so forth. Next, gold. Beautifully put. So gold at the moment is responding to one of the daily levels right there, as you can see. What do we have on gold? We have a spike into the region, and the body's more or less closed on the zone right there. Secondary put, we have the shooting star candlestick that's closed back below. Spike into the region, spike into the region. So that daily area using the bodies is working magnificently. And we can see here 1 spike, 2 spike, and then boom, we have that area right there. Over here on the hourly, guys, mini little hourly level there. I'll explain that later on, but you can see that market at the moment, we have the bearish engulfing, we have the push back up to the upside. We can't really break them highs. It's struggling, and we just have a small structural level where my crosshair is. If that breaks through, gold is going to break down. All right, so let's get into the 4-hour and look at what 4-hour regions and levels we can actually plot onto the chart in order for us to maybe find a probable trade and assist us with targets. Arrow. So what I'm looking at is current market state. Around these areas, it's pretty tricky. All right, so let me explain what's happened here. So we have this massive price drive, okay? So money's gone from A to B. We can tell money's left the market because of the spike in which gold has left behind. The spike in which gold has left behind there. And then what we see is a collapse. We always see a collapse and liquidity is dying down. The volume just pulls back a little bit, dies off. What we can see though is this can trick many people into getting short because again, the red candlestick plays on people's emotions, and generally speaking, when this occurs in the market, it normally happens at a very fast, volatile pace, and people are like, oh shit, gold's going to go short, 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 short. But look how price holds up magnificently and goes back into the highs. Then boom, a new high is formed after all of this mess. So these areas, I'll explain this afterwards in further videos as we go back through some charts and again into the future. We do actually see traps, okay, and it's very, very prolific and precise in how the market does and places these traps, but I'll show you this afterwards. Anyway, so we can use some of these regions and some of these zones as a 4-hour. So here we have the bodies, and then we have the bodies there as well. This could potentially be one. Okay, so I'll draw it across like that. Even if you wanted to, you could use the crosshair and just line it with a crosshair and just have the level sit in there like that. Excuse me. It's completely up to you. It really is. How you take this information and merge it with your own styles. You don't have to follow me completely. I'm just giving you a heads up. That could be one there. So if gold, again, I have the daily barrier, but I also know that that could be a key point in which gold breaches this previous spike. Can you see the spike here? Similarly to GA, we have that spike right there. Gold, this spike will be an issue. That will be an issue for gold. So I'll keep that in mind. Again, I'm not going all the way back in time. I'm looking at the previous intra-week cycle, which has been put through. So where liquidity was here and then it was drawn back up, the market's pierced through it, penetrated back into that right zone. Because if I put my crosshair right there at the bottom of that red candle, this one here, where the markets fell off, look at how the spike has gone back into it. Picked up whatever it needed to pick up, and then boom to the downside, taking out lows, 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 lows. It's a cycle after cycle. If you can recognize the cycles, you can jump on. Now, okay, so we've got that one. That's excellent. I'm completely satisfied with what's going on up here. I'm not going to over congest this area. What I am going to do though is just simply copy and paste this, ready to see where I can fit. Another 4-hourly on that. And you know what, guys? It's going to be right there. It's going to be right there. Here it's too short in terms of price from where the current market is actually standing. But now I am looking at this bad boy because I can see last week what we've seen is massive sharp sell pull off into the weekly. Look at the weekly, and this is where we actually plotted the weekly from, this point and then this point, but we've driven into the lows, and I can see that there's a significant area right here. I think it even went into 1510 psychological level, yeah, right there towards the top. But how the market is actually pulled off is quite magnificent in terms of, I can simply see this was driven, it might have been by fundamentals, but there's a lot of volume here. The volume was triggered at 1510, the psychological area. So that gives me the extra confirmation to sit the 4-hour level straight on top of that body right there. So gold medium term, let's have a look how this would sit. Let's have a look. So we have boom, copy, paste over to the hourly. So I know that top boundary is there. I know by eye, okay, cool, we're at the fucking daily anyway. Copy and paste that over, okay, and that's how it sits on the hour. Now, if I wanted to go short on gold, more or less, when I go through the hourly steps, this is more or less how it'll look. I'll look for hourly small key areas. But what we need is a break down and break below of the hourly region, maybe a retest. We have significant high, potentially. And now what I'm looking for is a drive into 1508, 1509. And that would be my first target. If that breaks, then cool. Look, I've got 1497 at the fucking base. And then I've got my weekly there. All I need to now do, people, is just follow the price. I don't need to put out any other levels. So 1508 from 1520, that's over 100 pips again, and that can happen in hours. And if you are monitoring the trade and we do get strong 4-hourly closures, you can extend that target and go to the next one. That's another 120 pips. Easy. Now this is just straight pure price action. You know, it's incredible once you actually read it and you get the confidence. It's crazy. It's going to absolutely transform the way you look at the markets and the way you trade, and the amount of money you can actually make. Again, I always say risk 2% of your account. I've done different things in the past, and you're going to see it on videos as to what I've learned from various challenges, quote unquote, if you will, to test my psychology and also test the market and test these fucking strategies. I actually put money behind everything I do. I put so much money into refining these systems, and I'm actually taking a big loss by sharing it, to tell you the truth, because it is going to get shared online. It is going to get whatever. People are going to start teaching it, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But I've ensured that I'm on a different level now in terms of my personal fund, that I'm doing so much in the trading realm and absolutely killing it, but by sharing this information, it isn't going to harm or offend me in any way, shape, or form. Cool. Right. So yeah, simply put, guys, what we're looking at is, if we translate some of the information, what we can see over here, the day is a bit sloppy. The day we had one boost and straight boost into this region, but look. Okay, body. We've just boosted through the bodies. 1525 psychological level is absolutely vital in this case. And then what we can do is we can come into the 4-hourly. We can see shooting star, tweezer top formation. We can see that the market came back below. It's retesting that zone. We're going to roll over on gold. I do definitely think gold is about to roll. Gosh. GA. Gold. Beautiful. So yeah, keep your charts clean, precise, and then we can translate into the hourly. I'm just slowly introducing the hourly into your minds at the moment, and how I actually use that. But we're going to really cover this going forward, not too far away. Alright, so I'm going to lock this video off now because I'm running over 30 minutes, and I'm going to go into pound, I'm going to go into USD CAD as the next lessons.